Hey guys, welcome back to RHR Jen. I'm so glad you're here. Guys, I have such a good show for you. As you can imagine, the fallout has been huge from Harry and Meghan announcing their vacation. I refuse to call it anything else but a vacation because they are not working royals. So it is not a tour as they'd have you believe. It is a vacation. So they've announced this vacation to Australia, and more announcements are coming out since, and people are rightly so reacting to all of it. So I want to dive in and talk about it. We'll be hitting the highs and the lows and some of the things that I found on St. Meghan Markle, the Reddit group, and I want to talk about just some of the announcements that they have made. If you're new here, I'm Jen. Please do make sure you're subscribed as I push toward the 200,000 mark. I really sincerely appreciate it. Let's dive in. I really want to start with this story. Have you seen this? Okay, let's talk. So, of course, Harry and Meghan announced that they will be taking a vacation to Australia. I believe it's planned for April. Okay. Of course, the Wales family already announced that they were headed to Australia. I believe it was August, if I have that correct. It may have been July, August. They're trying to figure out the days depending on the children's school schedule because they're hoping to take the kids with them. I think that is so cool. And Australia, you're lucky in that regard. You're not so lucky with the Harkles. Okay. But joke's on you because they live in America. So I guess it's less lucky for us, right? Anyway, let's talk about this. Did you hear about this? Of course, King Frederik and Queen Mary, they have an official state visit. Theirs is coming up soon. It's in March, actually. Now, in case you don't know, a lot of people do know, especially if you're an Aussie goose, but in case you don't know, I've talked about them, but specifically her before, Queen Mary, because I find her so interesting. They are king and queen who ascended the throne in Denmark. So she's married to King Frederik, and in 2024, it was January, his mother, Queen Marguerite, she abdicated the throne. So he took over. She is beloved. Okay. She is their Catherine, as I understand it. And if I get something wrong, you guys can correct me. I'm not going to go through the whole history, but the part that you need to know is she is beloved not only in Denmark, she's beloved in Australia because she's from Australia. She's actually from Tasmania in Australia. And she was born in Hobart, Tasmania, Australia. Her parents were Scottish immigrants. Her father was a mathematics professor, and she grew up in a middle class family in Australia. Well, in 2000, for the Olympics, at the time, Prince Frederik, now King Frederik, was over visiting. He went to a pub called the Slip Inn, and she was working there. And that's how they met. She didn't know he's a prince, future king. They fell in love. And there's so many interesting things about her. Not only is she gorgeous, and she's friends with Catherine, she's so much more than that. She's so, again, enormously popular, but she fell so in love with not only him, but Denmark in general. So she ended up learning the language. She's now fluent in Danish. How cool is that? I think that's so cool. And people really notice her dedication and her devotion, not just learning the language, but she's won people over because, again, she's dedicated to Denmark. I just think that's the coolest. Okay. In Australia, they see her as a well regarded, homegrown success story. So much more, I just think that that's the coolest. So know that when we talk about them, because they are beloved in Australia, they're beloved everywhere, but they're beloved in Australia. So they are about to head over there. So think about that. You have, again, King Frederik and Queen Mary, beloved, headed over, the 14th to the 20th. So just a couple of days now. And then you have, of course, the Prince and Princess of Wales, beloved, Commonwealth, headed there in potentially in August. And then you have the grifters that are announcing this vacation. And then they're shocked that there's blowback. It's absolutely incredible. So people are mad, saying that they're trying to steal headlines, not only from the Wales family, but also from Queen Mary and King Frederik. I think that's so interesting. The state visit. And I'm like, oh, yeah, again, what? They just have First of all, they couldn't steal headlines because it's a vacation. They're common, what are they're commoners? They're private citizens. That's what I'm trying to say. Oh my God, it's telling me. They're they're private citizens going on vacation and they're trying to use that to steal headlines. It's really incredible. But it's it's just so like them to try to get attention for themselves, maybe try to ride some coattails. I think it's just so them. But let's take a look at what people are saying about this. Here's a picture of Queen Mary and, of course, Catherine, Princess of Wales. That was such a wonderful visit. That's where we got the video of Catherine, Princess of Wales, when it was at the time Queen Marguerite was there, and she was Princess Mary at the time, and when Catherine was visiting, it was kind of an awkward moment for just a second where she was trying to be respectful of the Queen and stand off to the side. So that way, I believe the Queen, I think Catherine was originally in the middle. She was trying to let the Queen take center stage, etiquette and all that. And the Queen was like, like, no, stand next to me. But Catherine was trying to scooch out of the way. So she did it by scooching her feet over. It was just such a cute moment where she didn't want attention to be paid to anybody, but she was trying to, respect the Queen, and she just kind of scooted off to the side, and everybody talked about that. Anyway, again, not to compare, but I can't help it. If Meghan was there, imagine she'd be staying in the middle, like, look at me, it's all about me, all that. But the lovely Catherine and, of course, Queen Mary there. Okay. Two very elegant and refined women. Imagine Markle in that photo. No, I can't. With her wrinkled giant grandpa pants tucked under her boobs and dragging on the floor, a giant fashion don't. That would be the least of the worries, right? Just how bad her fashion was. It'd be how bad her manners are. I'm sure she'd say horrible things about. She would say, did you know that I speak Danish? I was with the United Nations. You know what I mean? She'd invent a whole backstory. Did you know I'm 32% Danish as well? My goodness. All right. And her tongue out. Classy. Exactly. That's right. Oh, look, both are wearing appropriate non-wrinkled clothing, tasteful makeup, and jewelry accessories with styled hair and no buckets of ridiculous bronzer. The woman could never compete. Exactly that. So this was also shared under this post, and I love it. I've seen it before. It's like one of my favorite memes of Meghan. You can read it. 2016, 2017, 2018, and so on and so forth will be my year, with each one crossed out, because they each go horribly wrong, and it's not anybody's fault but Meghan and Harry. So hard to feel. I don't feel sorry for either of them, but I find it funny. Yes, Queen Mary is absolutely beloved in Oz. The very same Queen Mary who learned an entire new language to showcase how much she loved Denmark. Yes, and I looked into it. Danish is supposed to be one of the hardest European languages to learn. So I'm like, that's incredible. Good for her. I think that's so cool. How much she loved Denmark, and she loves her home country too. Meanwhile, Meghan is still doing Duolingo French, hates the UK, rage quit public service, and when about having to learn an easy anthem on her own as a fully grown adult. An anthem all the Wales' dutiful children know how to sing, I'm sure. Absolutely. Agree. Don't forget, she had to learn how to curtsy too. That's right. Even though, I thought this was such a good point, by the way. I thought this was really good. Even though she spent her life doing theater up through college, don't tell me she didn't rehearse her curtain call curtsies for hours before shows. Probably practiced those more than her lines. And all the times I've talked about the nonsense and the curtsy and the disrespect and all that. And I even talked about the curtsy on the show Suits. I did pull that where she did the curtsy. She seemed to know how to do it then, but then she forgot when she was part of the royal family. It makes no sense. I didn't even think about this. I didn't even think about that. She bragged about doing theater. I can't help but say it like that when I see her written like that. She did theater. So she definitely, obviously knew how to curtsy, but I'm saying she definitely did this. I agree. I thought this was such a great point. She actually, oh yeah, exactly. She had to curtsy in one of the episodes of Suits. That's right. She did it. Just more BS spewing from her mouth. That's right. I just talked about in, I believe it was yesterday's episode, how she just says these things. Her words, she just says things and hopes that nobody catches that she's saying different things than she said before. It's always a contradiction. Always. They always contradict themselves. Perhaps H&M are looking for a tag-along ride. She rides others' coattails. Absolutely. Absolutely agree. Good luck with that. Perhaps she's going to ask for a ride like she did on Air Force One. Oh my God. They have both done so many embarrassing things. I just hit the mic. Sorry. I forgot about that allegedly, I don't even know if it's alleged, I think they proved that they supposedly asked for a ride on Air Force One. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Oh my gosh, who do you think you are? Absolutely ridiculous. Great gossip, even better. The Danish royals arriving before the faux royals. They're not even, they're just on vacation. Every comparison will be made between the two, and the Sussexes will be torn to pieces. Yes, indeed. Mary will bring a nice tiara or two as well. Oh, she always looks so beautiful. I love Mary very much. Everything I know about her, I really like. I look forward to the comparisons between the two gala events. That's really funny. I still don't understand why these two are still so popular as a draw for conventions. I can't make any sense of that either. If you don't know what they're talking about, I'm going to go into it in one of these other segments that I get into. But Harry is a guest speaker at something and Meghan is a guest speaker at something. I think, it's just my opinion, I think it's a lot of pay-to-play stuff. I think it's a lot of buying awards. I'm just talking about in general, not just some of it's Australia, but I think in general, a lot of buying of awards, hiring of PR. Not that they listen, but I'm hearing again rumblings that they've rehired PR company, things like that. So I think, and it's just putting out stories about themselves. So it's not that they're popular. I think it's kind of a car crash that people want to look at. But I think also they try to weasel their way into events, or again, allegedly pay to play in situations. So it makes it look like they're invited, but I don't know that they are. I really don't. Their names are still headlines. It's not about the content of their speeches. People get excited about meeting some reality show contestant at airport badging and baggage claim. I think that's a really funny comparison. So even an exiled royal is still big. Is it though? Is it? All right. They aren't though. appeared. Oh, they're talking about, they're not big. appeared at one a while ago for a breakout session discussion on something like female founder BS because she's been so very successful. Eye roll. It was totally paid for by Meghan Markle's appearance to push PR for her failing AE brand. The room was really small and there were about 30 people in the audience. The camera took really close-up shots so you wouldn't see the lack of interest and small attendance. Edited to add, it was for a Fortune magazine Powerful Woman thingy held in DC last fall. Here's the video where you can see a little bit. Okay, so there you go. Okay, this person says, ha ha ha, once again, karma has her number. Queen Mary coming home for a visit. At the same time, the grifters will be there. Not exactly. And the reason people are saying this is no big deal. The original poster just had the dates a little bit wrong. I had it wrong when I first heard. I believe they're expected in, nobody's expecting them. They're going on vacation in April, Harry and Meghan, whereas they are expected, Queen Mary and King Frederik, in just a couple of days. Now I want to take a look at this one because it's pretty darn funny. It involves Harry, which is not my favorite to cover, but you'll get a kick out of this. Ready? Harry is scheduled to speak at a summit on workplace mental health. Oh, what in the world? What in the world? What does he know about mental health? And what does he know about workplaces? Name a workplace he's been in. I'll wait. No, you can't, because that dude doesn't work. And no, Archibald doesn't count. And no, he doesn't know about mental health because he sure as shit didn't know how to get his wife mental health according to his own story. Remember mental health help when she was claiming the things she was claiming from the palace, and then he basically said, I don't know what to do, and tried to go to HR, and they're like, get her some help. He just, yeah. But it makes him qualified. It makes him he's qualified for nothing. What are we doing? This is why I'm saying I'm speculating it's got to be a pay for play or something, because who in their right mind would go to him for mental health? Anything, advice, tips, tricks, anything. Nobody in their right mind. Nobody. Oh, yeah, it's like asking a bull, I say it like that for YouTube, to speak at an anti-bull conference. Exactly this. Basically, that's what Harry and Meghan do all the time with this online kid thing. There's so many layers to the hypocrisy and the craziness, because they're always posting their kids online while preaching the dangers of posting your kids online and talking about the bull stuff while they're accused of the bull stuff. You can't make any of this stuff up, can you? No. You can't. All right, here you go. A national call to action on mental health safety. Again, what gives Harry and Meghan any kind of credibility, authority, anything on this subject? Who would want to hear them speak about this? Nobody. It doesn't make any sense. Again, I'm not even familiar with whoever this Inter-Ed Summit, whatever. But as soon as I saw his name on the roster, I'd be like, first of all, I'm out. But also, it would immediately discredit any event, especially a mental health event. What are we doing? What's happening here? And then an article about them speaking at a summit on workplace mental health. Again, I ask you, what workplace, Harold? What workplace? Mental health in the workplace. Well, that's ironic. First, yeah, exactly. What workplace do you have? Second, has anyone asked if you were okay? Actually, I can see the importance of looking out for the mental health of the people directly in Harry and Meghan's path. That's the right angle. I think that's brilliant. Exactly right. Okay, let's take a look at some comments under this. Harry continues his lifelong experiment to see how far self-pity can travel on a private jet. Well done. I thought that was a brilliant comment. That's absolutely correct. I think so too. I suppose his next gig will be on financial anxiety from the perspective of trust funds. Oh, it's so good. You guys are brilliant. That's so funny. Okay. Oh, yes. The tale of extreme woe and the heroic struggle he and his mid-40s wife had to endure while he stopped getting pocket money from his dad, even after he trashed the family members. Oh, but I'll tell you, he said he stopped getting pocket money from his dad, but it turns out because King Charles makes his finance public, from, yeah, you get it. And they showed that he actually was still giving Harry and Meghan, like, I believe millions plural, but at least $1 million, something like that. It's crazy. Crazy. How to navigate lying in one's bed when one has made it. I think that's brilliant. And he doesn't have a workplace now, nor has he ever. Exactly this. How can the event planners, organizers not question that? Basic question. What workplace have you been in, Harry? So stupid. All right. The caption under his photo, Prince Harry has dedicated his life to serving himself while emphasizing the importance of being a perpetual victim in his grifting globally. I think that is such a great description of that idiot. Harry has no job, so no workplace. Can't keep staff as it is at his non-foundation, is a nip-twerking moron with a history of especially toward women, and has an untreated mommy fixation. Yeah, that's who should speak about mental health. Could they not find literally anyone else? Wow. All right. I'll say allegedly on that because, yeah. One look at Spare, and you can tell how mentally unstable he is. Someone so unqualified like Harry should be banned from talking about a topic so sensitive and important as mental health. I mean, same with online child safety. What makes either of them experts on anything? Spoiler alert, they're not. Oh, it's just so crazy. You can't help but laugh at it. He did nothing to stop Meghan's bull of staff at the palace and at Archwell. We're going to slap a big fat allegedly on that too, but I completely agree. Same page. Yeah. What was done? What was done? Except for trying to turn it around on the victims. Oh, disgusting. Awful. Let's see, he did nothing in response to Meghan's claim of poor mental health. Well, I like the way that they worded that, claims of poor mental health. That's right. Whilst they were at the palace, yet now he's an expert. Exactly. Can't answer that, can you, Harry? Why couldn't you get your wife help? Why the heck are people hiring him? What makes them forget all the crap he's pulled? I don't get it. I don't get it either. That's what makes me ask. I'm just wondering aloud, is this a pay-to-play situation? I can't make sense out of it. Again, how do the organizers not realize, hey, this is going to make the whole thing look like BS? I don't know how else to say it. Just complete BS. Typical for them. All right. And then I want to get your eyes on this one. Look at this. Let's see here. All right. I'm going to dive separately in a video about Meghan's speaking engagement because it's becoming more and more controversial. And I really want to devote some time and make sure I'm saying the right thing because there's a lot of layers to it. If you haven't heard, I'm going to research into it and talk about it because they keep flip-flopping as to what's happening there. I think lies are covering lies kind of situation, but we'll see. So I'm going to do that separate. I just didn't want you to think, why isn't she covering that? This is a more general statement about what are they doing at these engagements. Does it really improve their commercial prospects? They aren't experts, thought leaders, or entrepreneurs in the traditional sense. So what exactly is the business value of these appearances? That is such a great question and exactly mine as well. And who's bringing them in? Let's see. This person says, I'm hoping to hear that both events are canceled due to lack of ticket sales. That would be absolutely hilarious, wouldn't it? Those tours, sorry, not tours, vacations. These vacations are to load up our narc fuel. The idiots have nothing to offer anyone, anywhere, ever. Now, that's not true. They could teach people how to be estranged from their families, how to treat people like crap and play victim the whole time, how to get whatever it was like, I don't know, millions of dollars, lavish wedding thrown, and then call it a spectacle and talk bad about the people that threw it for you. That's really a weird special skill. All right, haha, I think you've got Meh's motivation reversed. She created the commercial venture to give herself an excuse to endlessly put herself in the news, including by participating in speaking engagements like this. So much the better if the engagement also gives her an excuse to go on an international, global, faux royal humanitarian junket. Vacation. They're going on vacation and they feel the need. They're worse than like the couple with the slides, or whatever, or that thumb through their phone, whatever it is. I'm old school. I'm going slides. The vacation slides people. They're worse than that. They're subjecting everybody to their vacation. It's not the speaking engagement. It's not that the speaking engagement serves the commercial venture, but rather that the commercial venture serves the speaking engagement and resultant attention in the press. The end goal is a continuous supply of narc fuel, even money secondary to narc supply. I think that's pretty good. I can't decide. I was hesitating because I'm like, is money secondary? Yeah, probably. I think she wants attention more. Although right now, at this moment, I do wonder about the money thing because I'm just speculating. I'm not in their finances, but they have got to be hemorrhaging money. I keep talking about, if you haven't seen it, watch any of my recent videos where I go into their PR disasters and why I really think they are in serious trouble. That's just my opinion, but it seems like it to me. Yes, very true. Here I was thinking like a businesswoman when I'm realizing it's not everyone's headspace. Meaning, like, look at Meghan. Yeah, she never does. She never thinks like a businesswoman. She is a complete and a total disaster. Well, that's going to do it for me. I have to know your thoughts on all this. Let me know your thoughts on them trying to announce, I would say, over top. I mean, their timing is horrible. Always announce a vacation with, again, beloved Queen Mary, King Frederik headed over in just a few short days. And then let me know your thoughts on Harry's workplace speech. Oh my God, workplace mental health. Can you think of anyone less qualified to talk about that? No, me neither. And then let me know your thoughts on why you think they're doing these speaking engagements. Is it the narc fuel? Is it money situations? How small are these crowds? Why are people asking them still? You can let me know your thoughts on all that in the comments below. Is it like a you're scratch my back, I'll scratch yours? But what can they do for people? I don't know. It seems to be a weird, like incestuous web or something. I don't know. All right, that's going to do it for me. Thank you guys so much. Please do make sure you're subscribed. I'm pushing hard to the 200,000, and it really helps. I noticed that YouTube unsubscribes people after a while. So if you don't comment or thumbs up or whatever, so if you will, just make sure you're subscribed. That's all I'm asking for this video. Thank you. That's going to do it for me. I truly hope you guys have the best day. I can't wait to see pictures of Queen Mary, and I can't wait to see, of course, our Catherine when she goes over there, and family and everything else. So that's what I choose to focus on. Let me know your thoughts on all of it. That'll do it for me. Take care. Bye-bye. Hi, how are you? Oh my gosh. Can you imagine? Take somebody beloved, okay, and they're headed over. And that's when Harry and Meghan decide to announce their vacation, their faux royal tour. It's so stupid, even for them. Like, what? They just do no homework, no thinking, no nothing. I mean, you'd think, and I don't know, this is just me speculating, you'd think that would force, that might force King Charles to take a little bit more firm action, because you're actually involving, I don't know, other countries at this point. And I don't just mean visiting Australia. That's a vacation. I mean, you're messing with other royals. So I just wonder about all that. Like, they're just poking to play victim. It's so crazy. Anyway, I wore purple. It's like a plum almost shirt. I just think it's so fun. I hadn't worn this one. I have one similar that's in black, but this one's in plum, and I thought it was cool. So let me know your thoughts on that. And I tried to do like a purple eyeshadow. So let me know your thoughts on that. Thank you guys so much for being here. I was trying to go for a Catherine and Queen Mary. I just love how they do their hair. I think it's so shiny and the curls and stuff. So I tried to go for that look today. I'm trying to go regal and royal. Hold on. There we go. Can I hang out with Queen Mary and Catherine, Princess of Wales? I wish. Man, if I could pick some people to have tea with, I'd pick them. I'd pick Princess Anne. I'd pick Sophie. Let's go. Let's do this thing. I'd set my Gosling up to play with Princess Charlotte. It'd be amazing. We'd have the best time ever. And then we'd have a nice tea where I'd be on my best behavior. And then I feel like we'd end up having drinks on the balcony afterwards. And I'm losing my crown. And I would ask them, okay, what do you really think about Meghan? Let's talk about it. Let's see if I could give them some liquid courage and talk about it. But anyway, oh, my hair. Let me know your thoughts on all this. Thank you guys so much for being here. If you stayed tuned this long, who would be at your dream tea? Let me know. I'd love to know. That's mine. Tell me yours. Oh, yeah. And then maybe Greg Davis. All right. Take care. Bye-bye.